Hi, welcome to CCTV Channel 17, live at 525, Preservation Burlington show. Preservation Burlington is a nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to preserve and protect the historic architecture and livability of Burlington through education and advocacy. I always almost drop right down and then read the goodbye too at the
Don't
same
do that
time.
yet.
It's really embarrassing. So thanks everybody for joining us this month. We are going to be spending a lot of time talking to our fellow board member and dare I say friend and the head of the Homes Tour Committee about the upcoming Homes Tour. It's going to be pretty fun.
Yep.
We want to promote a couple of things, right? First, Bill Mayers was on last month and he did his talk at the former Champlain Club, which was the
German Club, which is now the North Star
Community Center or something. But that was pretty well attended. I mean, there were 20 plus people there. And
I'm really sad I missed it. I was away, but
I know, me too. I got tied up, but it was fun talking to Bill. He's really passionate about beer, the history of beer, and how that dovetails into his experience in Vermont since the 70s, I guess, you know. And then tomorrow is
Saturday.
Day after tomorrow.
Today's only Thursday. Day after tomorrow, we've got the Lakeview Cemetery tour and chapel tour, and we have special guest speakers at the grave of O.O. Howard.
Yeah, so that's going to be pretty fun. That starts at 10 o'clock, runs through 2 or something like that.
Should be good weather.
2:30. Should be good weather. I know the, is it the Friends of Lakeview Cemetery that help maintain the chapel? They've been putting a bunch of money and electrical upgrades into it, and I know there was an RFP for painting the trim on it, so it should be pretty neat and open to that. And
even without that stuff, it's beautiful inside what they've done. So
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Lovely little building.
So that's going to be fun for Saturday.
Yep.
Do you want to thank Matt for being on the show?
Hi, Matt. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, you sort
it's
of
your
have
annual
to.
appearance.
Yeah, your annual appearance, right?
Yeah, we're super glad to have you though, because you take the heat off us, and we're really looking forward to hearing about this year's tour.
Yeah. What are your? I mean, you broke records last year. The tour broke records.
We did break records last year. We sold out the first year back from our COVID period, COVID hiatus, and we sold out with over 600 tickets, which was fantastic. I think that record sale probably hadn't been achieved since like maybe the beginnings of the Homes Tour back 20 years ago.
Averaged like 400, a little more, a little less usually,
yeah,
right?
probably. But
so 600 was like a lot.
Yeah, it was very nice to get that crowd in.
And it was good weather. Like, how did it go having that many people come through? Was it manageable? Was there anything you learned?
The weather was perfect.
Yep.
It may have been a little hot, as I recall, but it was a beautiful day. And surprisingly, I didn't see many problems with accommodating that kind of a crowd. There were some houses, in particular, one off from North Avenue that apparently had quite a line down the street for a while, so they had to bring 5 people in at a time. It was also a relatively small home, so they needed to work on accommodating that many people. But otherwise, it flowed pretty well.
I heard from people that because that house had a beautiful garden too, right?
That's correct.
As well, so yeah, people have complimented and not really complained about the wait because it was quirky and interesting inside.
And
just an interesting building, and house, and then the gardens made it all worth the wait, they said. So
yeah,
so that was good feedback.
And last year's was challenging in that the houses were all over Burlington too, right? This year, is that the same, or are they more clustered?
They're more clustered this year. Last year we had homes all the way out on North Avenue to the other end of the city, south end, and this time we have a few homes right on South Union Street, and then Willard Street, and then we go down to the Howard Street and into the Five Sisters. So it's a very walkable tour this year.
Nice. So let's see if we can see some of the pictures of this year's houses, and
there's our poster.
Talk about them a little bit, yeah. Because we got some really nice variety of architectural styles, right? We've got some colonial revival, we've got
Corner stores.
former corner stores. Yes, this one has they all have really great histories.
They do
behind them.
This home, folks are probably familiar or maybe familiar with Bob Blanchard, who does the Facebook posts on Burlington history.
Yep.
This home is actually connected with him in that it was the Blanchard home, I believe. I don't know how many generations it goes back, but his grandparents, I believe, were the ones who operated it as a local market. And if you're looking at the picture here, you can see the front window, the facade in the front,
like
where there was a
storefront.
store at one point. And the new owner has taken care to preserve it and maintain that entry to the store as it was originally. And it's a very interesting house. The owner has collections of Fiesta ware and old cameras and things throughout the house. So it's interesting to see. And the space that was the actual store, you very much still have that feeling of it being a store. It's now her kitchen, I believe.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's
yeah,
super
like
cool.
a lot of interesting ephemera and
Yeah.
I do like that. That's in that neighborhood down there, right? Sort of
Five
heading to the
Sisters.
Five Sisters.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Lovely. And then we have some vernacular houses, which are really common in Vermont, right? Interpretations of higher styles.
One of the things I like about this is I hate asymmetry. Asymmetry. I like things to be symmetrical, and often these homes are, especially gable fronted like that, but this one's not, and it just kind of always makes me, it's jarring in a fun way, I always find. I know I walk
It's
past it
symmetrical on the left side.
my way home. Well, you have side entrance homes, right? But they don't usually have the weird roof line like that.
Yeah, this is the back of the house, of the same house, which it has a beautiful garden. And this is actually the home where we're having our information table and reception or refreshment stop. So
SAG stop for when people are a little tired or
yes,
thirsty.
all right. And it's kind of located near the midway to end of the tour. Of course, people can go to whichever house they want to first.
Right.
Yeah,
But
self-guided.
that's going to be a very nice place for people to stop and rest.
Yeah. And it really makes a great use of space. I mean, the asymmetry is, a lot of the buildings in Burlington are built the way they are because of the lots that they're situated on, right? So you needed to have a long house or have an orientation a certain way, and the dormer. And this one too had the carriage house is more recent, but built in the style or built to match.
Yeah,
Maybe
sympathetic.
complementary. Yeah, yeah. What else do we have? This is a fun one.
Yeah, this is an exciting addition to the tour. A home that was recently really rescued from possible demolition.
Sure.
I think around 2000 it suffered a significant fire, which gutted a back area of the building, not original, and then I think even some of the interior of the historic
the
home.
front and the historic home. Yeah, I remember that because I think GVV Architects were the architects that helped the owners. The owners are Vermont. They're from Vermont. They're from Heinsberg. They loved the house. It was a multi-family house with those, like you said, the part that burned were kitchens, enclosed porches that became part of the house and part of the multiple units that were in there. It was a substantial amount of damage, even to the front. So when these folks decided they wanted to live in Burlington with this house, they sold their home. GVV Architects, like I said, helped work with them and work through the whole thing. So they've removed all that latter addition fire damaged parts, but put it back. But now it's more like a couple of enclosed porches. It's a really interesting house. People are going to love it. And like you said, they saved a house that was really, no one else would have done that.
Yeah, yeah. And the tree in this photo is kind of blocking a lot of the house, but it's architecturally very interesting. Began life as a Greek Revival home, built in around 1840, 1845, I think. Interestingly, was home to a former Vermont Attorney General, candidate for governor, and I've learned today a poet laureate of Vermont, so multi-talented gentleman known as John Sachs. but the house evolved over time. In the 1870s, a lot of Italianate architectural features were added to the exterior of the home, and
As was the fashion.
Yeah.
yes,
it was very
yes.
popular
So it's,
style, yeah.
it
Like
continues to evolve.
hiding behind the tree is the Italianate cupola, which is very character defining.
We took these pictures with the tree there so people would go on the tour, right? We don't
okay,
want to
yes,
show them
yes,
everything.
Yes, exactly.
You
Yes,
know.
a little intrigue. Yep.
Yeah, it's fun to be inside that house and see the things they saved, and also see the juxtaposition, because it's an interesting interior in a historic home, sympathetic but modern and comfortable. It's really, really neat, and they're nice folks and they're very house proud, so they're really looking forward to
They should be. It's
having
beautiful.
people come
Yeah.
through.
Yep.
And not to harp on it, but I am particularly impressed with. I mean, I remember seeing this home for years and was very sad when it burned, and I can't speak enough at how important and hopeful it is to see something like this preserved and saved, because it would have been a real loss to the city.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same. It's my
absolutely.
wife's favorite house in Burlington,
Yeah.
really.
And let's see we've got this beautiful colonial revival house. Tell us about this one.
Yes, so I think this property was built around 1882, maybe, someplace in that vicinity.
It's hard to remember without
Yeah,
notes.
it's either 72 or 82, and I believe it was A.B. Fisher who was the architect, a renowned Vermont architect in his day, and the home, he also, I believe, did the Opera House in downtown Burlington.
We did a lot of buildings in Burlington. Yep.
Yeah, but it's a mansion. It used to be, when it was the Willard Street Inn, for a period of time, they had mansion in the title, which it is, and it's a massive structure, beautiful all around. In the back, there's this incredible glass kind of solarium that exits onto a beautiful formal garden. So people are going to love seeing this one. It's now being operated as Blind Tiger Burlington, which is a boutique hotel. But it's people are going to enjoy
I think
that.
getting the opportunity without staying there, having the opportunity to walk through it. And you're right. I've been in that building, and when it was the Willard Street Inn, they hosted a couple of events for us in there, and it's very Downton Abbey-esque.
Oh, I'm so excited! I am actually in town this year, and I can see these houses.
It's a little different from when it was the Willard Street Inn. It's Downton Abbey with maybe a little extra flair of modern. I mean, there's a little funky addition to it now that maybe wasn't there before, but still absolutely lovely.
I know they've added bathrooms to each and every suite and stuff like that. So I'm going to be interested to see how you fit that into a historic structure and be, again, sympathetic. It doesn't have to look old-timey, right? It just has to be sympathetic to the structure and modern, but, it'll be interesting.
it's really-
I'm looking forward to walking through that
It's
one.
hard to blend modern convenience with architectural integrity, right? But the fact of the matter is, the house is here, it's living, it's in use, and it's
Unless you pick your
beautifully
period
maintained.
of time as, like, say, the 19-teens, 20s, because then
Right.
you can have those wall-mounted toilets, you know what I mean? You can have
Exactly.
the pull showers here and
Yeah,
there that they cram
yeah.
into a gigantic room in the corner of a
But
house.
buildings evolve, and we just saw that with the John Sachs house, right? It started out as Greek Revival, and then people added to it over time. So that's natural. We don't want to. Well, we won't get into that
Well,
conversation.
historic in its own right.
Exactly.
So, Matt, how many years have you been head of this ship? Have you? I'm just trying to remember that. Today.
I've forgotten. I don't know.
As long as I've known you.
Yeah, that's probably how we met. Many years. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's been a decade. It feels
At
least
least,
like a
yes.
decade.
I'm thinking
Yes.
15 years, but
yeah.
I don't know.
The only thing that kind of keeps me going is each year
Right.
each year we start early after Christmas, kind of
Yeah,
start
yeah.
looking for homes, thinking about homes, and we go over our lists from previous years, and inevitably there are homes and homeowners that I've been begging to be on the tour for years, and they may say, "Oh, next year." So that's the thing that keeps me going. Once I've exhausted my list of next year's, it'll be time for somebody else to take over.
Yeah. There's always somebody that says next year.
Yeah.
Well,
That's true.
But it's not just getting the homes on the list. You have quite a task organizing volunteers and everything else too. What goes into it?
oh, yes. Well, we have a homes tour committee, thankfully, of around 5 members, mostly of the Board of Directors of Preservation Burlington, and we meet regularly starting the beginning of the year. And like I said, pouring over our lists of homes. We try to every year also go around Burlington and see about new homes to perhaps add. We really like, and I think it's important to have a good collection of homes, not just the big mansions, but also some smaller everyday homes to make sure there's something for everyone. So we try to keep it fresh. Sometimes we do repeats. This year's tour actually has a couple of repeat homes on it, but they were on the tour years ago,
Yeah, 20
and
years
have in
ago.
some cases changed owners, been very much changed in the time since the last time they were on the tour. But yeah, it's a big commitment. So not only getting volunteers to help us out, but getting homeowners who are willing to have their home on the tour. It's no small thing to ask people to, on a Saturday in June, allow 600 people
I was
into their
gonna say,
house.
yes.
And
Yeah, it's a tough ask.
yeah.
It is, having been peripherally involved and helped and stuff. It's a lot. I know day after the home store, but it's like whew, a breathe easy, right?
Yeah.
Normally we don't have a board meeting that month, but this month we do because we have a guest. But yeah, and then I know the committee kind of takes a breather, like you said. It's like June, it's like July, August, September. Oh, we're getting close to winter, and you start
Starts all over again.
kicking things around in
Yeah.
your head again. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It seems like a lot of work watching it happen, and
It's definitely a lot of work, but
It's worthwhile.
it's
Fun
very
when it comes
worthwhile.
together. Yeah.
It's as many people know, it's the biggest fundraising event for Preservation Burlington. So a lot of the educational programming, the tours, the speakers that we have come in, as well as endeavors that we pursue in terms of maybe lobbying the city for preservation-friendly ordinances or supporting legal projects to attempt to preserve structures in Burlington.
Yep.
We
It
rely
feeds
on
all
it
of
feeds
that.
all of
Yeah.
that. Exactly.
But it also is a great way to let the community know about history and historic architecture and Burlington's history, right, in a way that they might not otherwise. So, it's not like it's a seminar where they have to come and sit and be lectured to. They get to see history in action and the houses in their current form, and that can get people really excited about preservation and what's here in Burlington and wanting to keep it.
The people that go on the tour love it. Do you get a lot of people that see you outside the tour and tell you that?
As in, like, are you
Like
famous?
regulars.
Autograph?
After this show, I'm sure that will happen.
Well, of course. the show, but-
It doesn't happen that often. I've had maybe a few people
few.
will say, "Hey, are you the guy with Preservation Burlington?" Yeah.
Okay, I work at Shelburne Museum. So the demographic is very similar, and a lot of the guides or a lot of people that will come through
Do they ask you if you're Matt? No.
will ask me if I'm Matt. Well, I tell them I'm Matt. I'm like, did you enjoy yourself? Yes, I'm Matt Viennes. I run the whole thing. No,
Yeah.
but I get that a fair amount where people ask about the home store. When's it coming up? So
Yeah, it's a very popular event,
It is.
and
It
I think
really
it's.
is.
I mean, Lisa, you touched on this that it's kind of being able to live a part of history or go in and feel something that is historical. That appeals to a lot of people. Other people just want to really see beautiful homes. A lot of people want to see gardens. A lot of people want to see fantastic lake views, and we offer all of
All of
that.
that.
So there really is something for everyone here.
yeah. How many homes this year?
6.
6. Okay.
I think,
I mean,
yeah.
close together. So I know some years when there's 6 and they're far apart, it's like a lot of legwork for folks. But
Yeah.
6 is a nice amount when it's walkable, like you said.
Yeah, in some cases they're almost directly across the road from each other.
Here's one we haven't talked about yet, this shingle style home. What
Yeah, this is a beautiful house. Speaking of lake views, the owners said one of the most memorable thing about this home is once you enter the front door, you have this incredible view of the lake. And another thing about this house is how beautifully it's been preserved over the years. The current owners actually received a preservation award from Preservation Burlington for their efforts to maintain the home over many years. And you can, going by this house, you can just tell the love that the owners have for it. They've really done a fantastic job. And plus, it's a very interesting house in that the interior is filled with artwork and mementos that the couple have collected over their over years of touring the world. And so, I mean, the house is fantastic, but also there's a lot of stuff
There's a
inside
rich
that.
personal history inside. Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay, some happy tour goers from years
From
gone
last
by.
year,
Yep.
Yep. I think people are excited too because it went away during COVID, right? And people really missed the tour. So it's nice to have it back, and people are probably still a little bit like, is it really happening? Are we doing it again? Are we doing it?
Yeah, there's so much pent-up demand last year.
Yeah.
Not to say that, I mean, we've had some really strong ticket sales already, right?
Yeah, ticket sales are very strong.
Are there any left?
There are still some left, but they're going quickly. So I encourage folks to go and and purchase them. They're available at 7 Days Tickets. There's also information about where to go on our Preservation Burlington website.
Okay. And there's no at the door. I mean, we haven't said where the doors actually are, but there's no on-site tickets.
There are no
or
on-site
admission,
tickets,
right.
and I would encourage folks not to do that, both because it's not our practice, but also I anticipate that will likely sell out. Last year, the tickets were gone before the day of the tour, so don't wait to get them.
Yeah, if you want to go, sign up now. And it's easy. 7 days makes it really easy, so.
Yeah, yes,
for
it
folks.
does. Well, let's hope there's great weather again, and that they do sell out, because that's great. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Just, because that's how I am, great weather. We're all hoping for great weather. We always do. And we've so often so lucky. But I remember the camps tour, which was all along the lake up there.
From Apple Tree Point or,
up at Apple Tree Point and all the camps. And they were so interesting, but it was torrential. It was still a strong showing, but everybody was trudging with raincoats.
We don't. Hopefully we don't have a replay of that. We
Right.
do contingency plan. We don't cancel the tour, but we make we have booties that people can slide over their shoes to enter the homes. People, some homeowners like to have folks take their shoes off if they're comfortable with that. So there are ways to deal with rain. Torrential rain is
I've gotten some
difficult.
nice shoes when that happens. I usually switch
Said
up.
what?
I've gotten some nice shoes. I wear my worst shoes, and then when people have to leave them at the door,
If the shoes have moved around, Rod's been there.
upgrade. That's right. Yeah, it's fun. It's pretty interesting. I'm sure we're gonna have great weather. I don't know why, but I just feel pretty good about it. Early June's a good time to run it too. Hopefully all the April, May rain is over, or this time of year it seems to only rain in Vermont at night, which I love. I brag to my friends out of state that it only rains at night in Vermont.
That's not something I've personally experienced.
No, I'm like, what planet are you on?
It rained last night. Didn't rain today. It rained a couple of nights
One
this
night.
week.
Well,
Yeah, well, that was
Short-term memory.
It was the shine when I first moved here. I was still all goggly-eyed, and all the houses are historic, and it only rains at night. So, but now I see behind the curtain a little bit now and again. But this is a great way to see behind the curtain in a good way.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Any other questions for Matt?
No, I'm going to be volunteering this year for the first time. So what do you ask of your volunteers? What should we expect?
Sure.
And do you need more still? Are you still looking for
We're still looking for a
volunteers?
few more volunteers. So if anybody is interested, please go to our website and you can email our organization. The tour guides or docents as they're often called stay in the homes. We have 2 shifts, so 12 to 2 and 2 to 4. For the other time when they're not working, they get to tour the homes. But they're really there to help guide people through the homes, to, of course, be an assistant in any way they can, but also to keep an eye on the homes and make sure that people respect the fact that they're in somebody else's home.
Yep.
Yeah, it really is it's a nice way for somebody to be able to go on the tour and see the homes, but also give back to our organization. Obviously, they don't have to pay to go for the second half of the tour.
They get
That's
to cruise
included
around.
in their volunteering. Yeah, but absolutely, if people are interested, they should reach out to us, and we can use their help. Assign them.
Yeah, it's a great way for everybody to get together, and like you said, to give to the organization. You have 2 hours to run around and see the other houses. You meet a lot of great people that love it. It's fun. The people that do it really enjoy it. Should we mention the super secret after party?
Yeah, there is a secret after party for volunteers and homeowners, which is always a great time. And this whole tour is a great time. I mean, people really enjoy it. So everybody's happy for 4 hours in the afternoon. But the volunteers don't need to know every detail of the home.
Volunteers up there now.
Yeah, they don't. Obviously, we'll provide them with history of the house that they can, if they so are inclined, they can offer to the tour goers. But we don't have any expectations more than that they be there to be pleasant.
And the homeowners are there to answer questions.
Maybe. Not all homeowners are. It's really a personal choice. But I know this year a fair number of the homeowners will be present.
Yeah, and all the history's in the booklet. So when you get a ticket, you get the booklet. So it's really self-guided. You can read the whole thing and go right to the house and then start looking for the things that you read about. And ask a couple of questions if the owners are there or the docents are up for it. Yeah, it's a lot of. I'll say from my. I'm not trying to discourage anyone. It's a lot of smiling and saying hi, like you said. 600 happy people
Go that
who are
way,
enjoying
not that
the
way.
day. Yeah, it's like, hi, how are you? Oh, thanks for being. Hi, how are you? There's a reason I'm back of house at Shelburne Museum. Smiling for 2 or 4 hours is really a challenge, but it is fun to see everybody really enjoying it. And my in-laws have had their home on the home store twice in all these years, and they still go on about how much fun it was and how they saw people and friends and neighbors. And
we're still waiting for your home to be on the tour. And
I know.
You can have that much fun too.
It's never been on the tour?
No.
Oh.
We were going to do a beat
Well,
up
when you put your tour,
beat up
your house on
old
the tour, I'll put
homes.
my house on the tour.
Yeah. All the board members will have to do theirs.
It'll be
tour.
a special tour.
It was on the tour many years ago.
Preservation Burlington board members homes tour.
That
could be fun.
It's probably doable.
It'd be a fun thing.
It'd
It'd be all over, right?
That's right.
We're all over.
It
the
would
place.
be all over the place. Yeah.
Yep. But it could be fun.
One of these years, maybe. One of these years. I've got some
Maybe
stuff
we'll just
to
do a
finish,
slideshow.
as you know. I can tell hilarious anecdotes, but it looks like we're winding down on time. So,
Great. Go buy your tickets.
buy your tickets, check out the website, volunteer for the home store, and get to go for free. There's all the information right up there. Matt, thanks so much for always doing this, for all the hard work, making it fun.
It's our
and
favorite
pulling
event.
it off year after year after year, except for COVID, where you had a slight vacation. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the CCTV Live at 525 Preservation Burlington show. For more information on your house, your history, Burlington history, our tours and events, or to get a marker for your home, go to preservationburlington.org, and we'll see you next month. Thanks.